Alrighty, guys, what's going on? Another episode of the Dee Greene Show. I'm here with Trace. What's going on, bro?
What's up, everybody?
Yo, where are you at? Because you said you're an hour behind, right?
Yeah. So I live near Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Illinois.
And that's where you were. That's where you were born and raised.
Yeah. I grew up like 60 miles west of Chicago. I mean, I tell everyone I'm from Chicago. That's what most people do around here.
But, bro, I'm from Indiana, actually. So I went to Indiana University, and it was like all the people that I knew, they're like, "Oh, we're from Chicago. And then like you find out, it's like, dude, you live like an hour away from Chicago.
Yeah,
Some people literally live in Indiana, and they'll say like, "I'm from Chicago," and I'm like, "No, that does not count."
Dude, yeah, I know. I have a thing for saying that to everybody.
Because they're like, "Oh, if I told you where I was from, like you wouldn't know." So I just say Chicago. I'm like, "Well, nobody knows because none of you guys say it." If all you guys say it, like we would know.
I mean, do you know where Northern Illinois University is
at? Not specifically, but I've heard of it though, obviously, from being on that from that area.
True, yeah. I mean, that's like an hour away from Chicago.
What city?
What'd you say?
Wait, that's not in Champaign, is it?
No. Champaign's like an hour from me.
Oh, okay. That's dope, bro. So what are you up to, bro? Like, what have you been working on during this quarantine time?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll just actually preface how you and I first met. You know, I'm not sure if you remember. So I got into self-development a lot, started reading a ton of books. And then for those who are aware of ClickFunnels, Russell Brunson, his books, Expert Secrets and .com Secrets. At the time, I was trying to connect with a lot of people like Dee himself. And so I was looking through hashtags on social media and I came across the Expert Secrets one.
How long ago was this? I don't remember this.
Dude, this was like, I want to say January, probably February, January. I think it's probably January, right? That's when you kind of started. Yeah. So I reached out to you and we got chatting. I saw, I'm sure anyone who's been following you for the past even 6 months has seen like you progress from, your book club to then,
oh my God,
what you're doing. Yeah. And then to your social media and to what you're doing now. So like Dee and I connected through Expert Secrets. I think it was or .com Secrets, and I was trying to show you the books because at the time I was going through ClickFunnels. I was going through kind of the similar steps you are now, and so we got chatting about that. And then you invited me into your Facebook group where you did book reviews every month, right?
Yeah.
A couple books, and so I think at the time you were doing like Russ's book, and we got chatting. We had like a small little bit of friendship, going through the process, and then your book club's $5 a month,
right?
So. I like joined your book club, for the sense of community, for the sense of like friendship with you. And then maybe just to give you a little bit more, I guess hope from like joining a book group. But, so yeah, I mean, that's where you and I met, which is crazy to think that like from that point on, joining your group and like where you're at now, how it's progressed. Like,
it's a crazy journey, bro. Like I literally have like, it's so funny to me that like people don't really keep up with it. So like, my whole thing, for people that don't know, for the past like 4 years, I ran like a social media marketing agency doing stuff one-on-one with the clients, right? And at first it was dope because I was working at I was literally doing like Uber, Lyft. I was working at Tommy Bahama at the mall, making like $10 an hour, and then like trying to drive all over Orlando to make like extra money. And then on the side, I was like, man, I still want to like have my own business. So it was like a full-time like grind. So when I started doing social media, I was like, dang, I went from like that to making like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 every month, which was like dope. And then as I started like traveling and seeing like more places, I was like, man, there's a lot of entrepreneurs that I could help that I feel like would be more fulfilling than just having like 2 or 3 clients paying me like $1 or $2 grand. Like outside of the money, I feel like I got to that point where I was like, okay, what am I going to do that like makes the impact or like that's fulfilling? So and I was like, okay, 2020, I want to like dedicate it to trying to help as many people as possible. And it was like very vague, right? I was just like, I want to help people. Like I didn't know what the heck what it was going to be. So at first I'm like, okay, I want to help people like quit their 9-to-5 jobs. I feel like that's what it's about. And I was like, okay, how did I do that? And I was like, man, I think it was like a lot of the like books that I was reading. So I was like, whenever I recommend a book to people, like they don't read it. So I was like, if I read it for them and I tell them, like, I feel like that'll like help. So like you said, it was only like $5. So from that book club, then it changed into like a whole, I don't even remember like everything that it's been. And so it basically, I'm redoing it even now, but it had turned into like a, basically like a social media course on like how to create your content in less time, but I didn't like change the price for people that were in there. So like literally I have some people like now that have like never logged in like since it was like the book club. Like they don't even know like what the name is now. They don't know what any of the content is. Like someone literally like the other day was like, oh bro, like I'm struggling with something. And I can't do this anymore. Like, oh, I saw like the $5 come out of my account or whatever. And like, they're like, oh, I'm trying to find a way to make money. And like, they didn't know that that's like what the even like course was like now, which is like crazy.
Cause you're like fixing that, like you're adapting to everyone's needs or like how the times are going right now. And what's crazy is like coming across your page for the first time, you know, you're reading the right books. And then you had like the Gary Vee content a little bit at the time. Like you had some good ass content on there. But like from an outsider in, I wouldn't have known you're making $3 to $5K doing social media marketing, which just shows how authentic you were. You know, like you're not putting out like basically like, you know,
like most gurus, like every day is like, yo, here's my stats, here's my Stripe account screenshot and stuff. Yeah.
And like you have a lot of good storytelling and like, you know, telling your experiences versus some people out there. I mean, like I would have never known you were making that much money. I remember like your story with like yourself at like the drive-through, right? Was that you? Like you used to work at?
Nah, yeah.
Was it you?
I did ballet.
Yeah. Okay.
If that's what you're talking about. It was like a picture of the at Disney of the actual like the drive-through like that we used to work at basically.
So that was you, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I was gonna say, totally forgot, man. So like when I first came across you, like, and then I'll get into more about myself, but so I was going through ClickFunnels and like, I'm sorry if I keep bringing this up for those who don't know, I'm sure a lot of you guys do, but
a lot of them probably don't actually.
Okay. So, I mean, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but so like what I was currently working on was like social media marketing. So are you, and I had this platform called ClickFunnels, which helps you market your services and products better. Kind of like
basically like a new age website, like a better way to sell your products and service other than just having like a website.
Yeah. Basically. So I knew that you needed that. Like from the time that we met, like, cause you were reading .com secrets and I was like, oh, like what provider are you using? What are you doing? And I looked through your stuff a couple of times and I was like, man, this guy's he's going to use ClickFunnels. And I knew it because I mean, I was an affiliate. I still am an affiliate for ClickFunnels. So I was like, man, I was creating this relationship with you. And I was like, I know I can help you. So that's when I like sent you, you know, the links to the expert secrets. And then we just got talking. And the next thing you know, I see you join the OFA. And that's when I reached out to you. And I was like, man, you should have hit me up because I already went through that. But then, I mean, dude, you and me both went through, you know, Ty Lopez's social media marketing course. We started reading the same books. So, I mean, I just knew that you were destined for this definitive path of like.
The crazy thing about OFA was like, I got stuck on, what did I get stuck with? I got stuck with something when I was reading Expert Secrets, and I had just like sent a Hail Mary and I just like commented on like one of Russell's posts, and he was yo, have you heard of like One Funnel Away? I'm like, what the heck is this? So I checked it out and I'm like, bro, I don't have time to do some 30-day like challenge. I'm trying to get some results today. I like left it alone. And then my wife was like, oh man, I want to like quit my job and I want to like figure out like something else to do. I want to do like my own thing. This is like a little bit before COVID-19 hit. So then I was like, yo, Russell told me to check something out. You should go to the website, see what it is. So she went and she's like, well, it's only like $100. Like, I was like, yo, I feel like this could be like a good start for you. Like, cause they basically tell you like, they like walk you through like not having an idea and everything. So she bought it. And then I was like, we went to like do the stuff and it's like, oh, it starts on like a specific day and ends on a specific day. That way it's like an actual like challenge. So when she watched the first video, I was like, I'm just going to like watch it with you to like to see what it is. And I didn't have any plan of like doing it myself. And I was like, yo, this is like fire, like content for $100. It's like the most, it's like basically like a college semester of like, or probably like a whole, what would you say, like a 4-year college degree almost in like marketing as far as like what they do. It's not going to tell you everything about social media and all that, but as far as like sales funnels and all that stuff, it's very, very like in depth. So that's how that came about. I didn't even mean to like sign up for that. My wife signed up.
I would totally direct people to that, just looking to kind of segue in their learning of online marketing. I mean, like you don't even need to actually go through the challenge. Like if you just watch those videos every day, or if you just watch Russell's content or just read his books, like that's the first thing I try to put people on because it kind of just opens their mind. Like, I didn't even start really creating funnels, and just the knowledge that I learned from the challenge, from listening to how Russell speaks, you know, publishing, storytelling, and then listening to Steve Larson, and just the whole customer behavior, how we act as humans. Like, it's like really, really valuable stuff for just $100. And then if you take a look at Russell's, if you take a look at Russell's podcast or Steve's podcast about MLMs, like, it's so much free information. And that, I mean, it just shows you how that funnels you into, like, Russell is able to give you all that information.
They're so smart, bro.
They are, yeah.
They make, all right. So first of all, they have like a private Facebook group for like for the people that don't know what this is. It's not just like they do it like one time. They do it, I think, like every 2 weeks or something like that. They have like another group, and they create a private Facebook group for like each time they do it. And each one of those easily has like 1,000 people or so, like 100 people, 1,000 people. Like, it's a lot of people. So that's like $100,000 every other 2 weeks. And then they're like obviously upselling you, like, here, buy ClickFunnels, but not just buy ClickFunnels. We're going to give you like this big package that includes everything. Some of those are like $2-3 grand each. So I'm sure a certain percentage of those, like, they're making bank like off of these. But yeah, it is very, very like in depth. How did you get involved with all that stuff?
So I graduated college last December. And
where'd you go?
Prior to, I went to Northern Illinois University. Okay. So like what I told you, an hour from Chicago, and I was studying human resource management.
How big is that school?
So it's pretty big, man.
It's like over 20, 30,000?
Probably. I know their enrollments are pretty down lately, but I mean, it's one of the bigger schools out here. They have a really good football team too.
So you said you studied marketing?
No, human resource.
Oh, human resources.
Yeah. So prior to going to college, or I guess still going to college, I was in retail for 6 years, and then I worked my way up to management. And then I saw a lot of problems with HR, with training, no performance reviews. So that's where I kind of. You were the grocery store Hy-Vee.
The what?
Wait. What do you mean? Like the store?
Where were you at? Like, where were you working retail?
Oh, Hy-Vee. You aware of the company?
No.
So it's a grocery store in the Midwest. Don't mean to put the company on blast now with the
Hy-Vee?
Their HR. Yeah.
HYVEE. So you were working there for 6 years, the whole time?
Yeah, from 16 to, because I'm turning 23 this month. So I worked there actually for 5 years, but I just saw like a lack of like training. So I was like, all right. So I was going to school for business at the time. I had no side hustles going on, just strictly I'm going to follow the path that they all want us to follow, you know?
Right. So I have this job, go to college, figure it out after I'm done, type of thing.
Straight up. And like, if you just go to college, you're going to get handed a good ass job. And my mind never knew any of that. So I just was going through the path. And so about my junior year of college, so 2 years ago, I saw that HR was like a specialty, like an emphasis with business. So I was like, oh, bet I'm going to go into that. So I was starting to study that, and then I was like almost done graduating. I had like a year left, and I was like, dude, I got to get an internship somewhere. Like, got to get my foot in the door, got to see what it's like, taste the things that like what I'm possibly going to be doing. So I got an internship at a corporate office on a training and development team within HR. Probably not going to speak the company's name. It's a really good company.
Okay.
It's so I worked there. I worked with like executive leadership. I worked with like their onboarding and training programs, but like working that corporate job like last summer, it sucked. Like, I just felt like in the position I was in, the first time I ever had that like work schedule, you know, and like, not that I'm not like a hardworking person, but like that sucked. Like, I had no summer, and like at the job, I had no autonomy. I had no freedom to like do what I wanted to. I didn't really get my voice out there. Yeah, I was an intern, but like, that's how it is sometimes, especially.
You just like realize like, okay, this is not the path I'm really trying to go.
Exactly. And that's the importance of getting an internship or like trying different things. Right. So at that time, this is last July, I was like, shit, man, you know, I need to start doing some things on the side. I started listening to Gary Vee a lot. And I mean, now I don't listen to Gary as much because I think it can go hand in hand with him. Like, I think a lot of his stuff is like introductory, like at the beginning for people like looking for a quick hustle. But I still go back to his material now because I mean,
right.
He's a genius. But so I started looking on YouTube for like a sense of community with like entrepreneurship. So I saw like a huge community with like screen printing t-shirts. So my girlfriend and I started screen printing t-shirts. We got all the materials and we watched all these videos on YouTube and we started selling them around our community, made like $600. I was like, all right, bet. Like, I was like, it's actually pretty cool. So then like I got my foot in the door with like ordering products, all that, and then it failed because the things we used came off the hoodies and t-shirts. So then like I dropped that, but like the experience I had was beneficial. I lost no money. And then I went into vending machines because I saw on YouTube. I saw on YouTube there was like it's so random, but like I'm so glad I did it.
Mad random.
I'm so glad I did it. So then there's this huge community on YouTube, you know, doing candy, like vending machines, and then like the snack and pop one. So I was like, I'm gonna get in that. So I bought like 10 of them.
You buy the actual vending machine? Like, how does that work?
Not the big ass ones, but like, you ever been to like a
like the ones that they have at like Taco Bell or something? The real little ones
with like candy and gumballs and toys.
It's like, I don't know. It's like not the big ones that have like the racks and all the numbers you got to type in. Like a smaller one.
It's like the ones you'd be at like a Walmart and like they're to the left with like 25 cent, 50 cent, you know?
Oh yeah, okay.
So I got into those thinking like, oh, passive income, right? Like I wasn't educated about it. Like this is it's a hustle. So I got like 10 of those, put them through my community, and then like 3 months later, I was just like, shit, this sucks. Like,
so how does that work? Like, so you buy the machines, you have to ask the business if you can put them in there, and then you take the money. Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so you buy the machine. So I got a couple from this website that are brand new, and then I got a couple off Let Go, the app you can sell shit on. And yeah, I just got it. Went to the people I knew. I went to like a detail shop, restaurant, barber shop, one other one, and like a car wash. And yeah, I just asked them like, hey, I have this machine. I'll put it in here. And then I also partnered with the National Children's Cancer Society. So I paid like $7 for a year to slap the sticker on it. And then most of the time, like the owners would be like, oh, okay, you know, it's fine. Like you're just obviously doing it. You're a younger dude looking for a hustle. Like they were cool with this. I didn't pay them any commission.
Okay, but would normally how that works? Like they would get a commission off of like how much
money? Yeah.
And it's so like all changed though, right?
I mean, like the pop and snack ones, bro, those bring in like 150, 200 a week sometimes if you're at like a warehouse or something. Oh, so like if you're getting like 10% as like the owner, like you could be bringing in a decent, plus you're giving food to your employees, you know, like they're not going to be leaving your.
Oh, true. So it's like helps their like not community, but it like helps their environment basically. Like if you're having like a water or a coffee or any of those type of services, you're helping, you know, whatever, however you word that.
Yeah, so like I should have gotten to that, but I just got into the candy one. It was kind of like, now that I look back on it, I'm like, man, I wonder what people are thinking about me, like hustling. I literally put on my story, be like hustling with these 25-cent candy machines, but like this shit was cool back.
That's dope, bro.
Like, it was like kind of like a passion. So then like I sold them all off. Yeah, I sold them off 3 months later, so almost November, and I got all my money back. I literally gave them to the owners, just said, hey, you want this for $200? And then, because I mean, their customers liked it. So I got out of that. And then I was like, I'm graduating in a month or 2 months. And I was like, I got to really think about what I want to do. So, I mean, straight up, I mean,
that's how I was too, bro. I didn't even do an internship ever.
Yeah. So I still live at home, which I'm thankful for. But so I was like, I almost got into this company that sold print advertising and magazines for neighborhoods, only like neighborhoods. And it was commission based only. So I had a couple interviews and I was like, at the end of it, I was like, nah, like traditional advertising is dead, even though like a community magazine might be good, but like the model wasn't there. So like I kind of got into that. And then I was like, wait, online, like marketing, like that stuff is like real now. So then I started looking around, saw a couple of my buddies were doing social media marketing. And he happened to have Ty Lopez's course, social media marketing 2.0.
Right.
And he was like, I'll sell it to you for half of what I paid for it. So I was like, bet, let me get into it. So I jumped into that in like 2 weeks and learned all about Google PPC, Facebook ads, lead gen, basically just like the whole like process of, you know, talking to the business.
People sleep on Ty Lopez. I feel like obviously he makes bank, but people hate. But I'm like, if you could just like get past whatever you don't like about him and just listen to the information, it's super valuable.
And I'm not gonna like put him on blast, but like anytime I bring him up, people laugh. And I'm like,
right.
Dude, he might not be like the guru for everything, but he outsources like where he knows people. Like in that course, dude, he's got someone for lead gen with ClickFunnels. He's got Google SEO.
The thing is that like people base like who they work on. Like, oh, I don't like the chicks that he's around. I'm like, so now you're not going to learn business because he takes a picture. Like, what, you just blocked your whole like learning experience because you don't like his cars. You know, like what does that have to do with your future and you learning? Like, just get in the course, learn the information. You don't have to hang out with this guy.
True. And I liked his book thing you had going. It's kind of like what you were doing.
Remember, like, for a while he kept like, oh, I'm writing my book and I'm opening up like pre-sales for it or whatever. Like,
I didn't know.
Do you remember that? He was like running ads for it, but like that was like 2 or 3 years ago, and he never wrote a book.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a book now that you said that.
He should, right?
He should.
I don't know what it'd be about, but
true. Yeah, he sure reads a lot of books. So I got into that social media marketing course, and then that was going to be my path. I was going to do email marketing for businesses around my area. I was going to do their social media marketing because I realized, like, let's say the company GNC. Are you aware of the company?
GNC?
Like the supplement company?
Yeah, of course.
So I was like, all right, they have corporate stores and franchise stores. So like the franchise stores, the owners have like the autonomy to like do advertising or like have like their own town Instagram page or Facebook page. And I'm like, why is ours not doing that? You know, like, they're leaving so much on the table. Like you could, I don't even know half the deals that go on unless I go in there, and like I see other towns do it. So I was like, I could charge $1,000 a month, bring them in however much money, like have an email list, text messaging platform. I was like, this could be great. Now looking back, I'm so glad I didn't because, you know, everyone's probably cut off right now because of the virus. But so I learned all that information, and then when I was graduating, I was just seeing everyone in my class like going into these like entry level jobs, and like they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be this and this, and like I just knew that like at that point everyone's like formal education was like done with, and like their lifetime learning was done with as well. Like they weren't gonna like for myself, like my formal education stopped, but like my lifetime learning began from the time that I graduated, because at the time I was reading a ton of books. I started with like marketing, business, and then I got into like personal growth, development, philosophy. So like I just knew where my path was going. I knew I was always going to be okay because I did the things like vending machines, t-shirt printing. I used to flip stuff on Let Go, Facebook Marketplace. So I knew that I was going to be all right, and I knew I was going down the social media marketing path. And then January came around, and I came across ClickFunnels. Same, like I just came across Russell Brunson's ad on the OFA, and then his book. And at the time, I was reading any book I could get my hands on. So I ordered .com Secrets, got in the OFA, and at the time I was like, am I really just bouncing from one shiny object to the other?
Right.
I think a lot of people fall into that. But then in the back of my head, I was like, man, everything I'm doing right now is compounding over time. Every experience, like social media marketing, my going into the local businesses and ordering product, like that's all helping me, you know, get the experience, you know, tasting things that I like. And so I went through the OFA, and I soaked up all the information, and I started building a funnel. And then I was like, what thing am I going to sell? And like, I see you're killing it with it, but I was like, I don't have a product of my own that I have gone out and done. Like I've been learning so much information, but like I hadn't gone out and done anything yet. Like that's like the biggest thing is like, you can only be like a sponge for so long. You actually got to go out and like pour it in. You got to pour it out into others. So that was the thing that I was struggling with, is I wasn't going out and just saying, hey, can I do your email marketing for free, get a testimonial, and then use that to see if my skills are there. And then also then show the next person who's in the same niche as them.
Right.
So I wasn't doing that. So going to the OFA, I was talking to everyone within the Facebook group. Like you said, like you get thrown in a Facebook group of like 1,000 people that are just like yourself, like starting out with nothing, or they're an author or they're gym owner or whatever. And I got stuck into, someone was talking about, or ClickFunnels, you can be an affiliate for their products. Like I'm sure you've seen that.
Right.
And like anytime you recommend like the OFA, you get like $100, and then like, or give someone a book, you get any upsell from that point. And like you can earn like a serious amount of money if you get people on ClickFunnels, like 40% commission of every month. So I was like, that seemed attractive to me. I was like, I could use all my skills that I learned with social media marketing to really up my game to pursue ClickFunnels, because I believed in the company so much. Like I was ready that next month to go to Funnel Hacking Live, because I was just like, I had such belief in the company. You know? Like I'm sure you feel the same way. And
yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, it is dope. And so then I got stuck in affiliate marketing. My buddy who lives down the street from me, he's a personal trainer and he's used ClickFunnels. He's made like 6 figures with ClickFunnels and just selling his like fitness courses, but then also affiliate. So he kind of like gave me some resources. He's like, hey man, like this is what is possible, like firsthand. So then I started sharing it with others. I got a couple people signed up on the One Funnel Away challenge, and then I gave away some books to people. So I saw a little bit of traction, and then I got like affiliate marketing with another course about affiliate marketing. And I guess like the first time I started making money with it was I was on Facebook talking with some people, and then I saw someone take a picture of the guy's course I was with. And I was like, oh, this dude's a beast. I'm in his course right now. And his course was $900. And then the dude just goes, send me info. I'm interested. So I was like, all right, bet. Chatted him up a little bit, like created a relationship. And then I was like, here's his course. He bought it within like an hour and I made $450. And I was like, how was that just possible? How did I just generate $450?
So there is a picture. Somebody posted a picture with the guy of who you were in that guy's course. The person that they took a picture with.
And then some random person commented on my comment because I was like, oh, this dude's a beast.
Oh, and then that person ended up hitting you up and then actually buying that guy's course from your affiliate link, basically.
Yeah, which is crazy because I was like, how did I just make $450 off? Like that was so like easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy money. So then I've been doing those 2 things for the past, this was in February. So I've been doing those 2 things, just promoting ClickFunnels and then promoting the affiliate course organically. Like I tried doing paid ads and I just didn't feel like the traction I was getting, you know, some people on my email list, but like it wasn't like worth my time, worth my money. Cause I like, you know, creating a relationship organically through like a Facebook group like that.
Right.
And sorry if I'm like rambling about
no, you're definitely not.
All right, fair,
everybody always says that. They're like, am I rambling? I'm like, no, you're not.
I just see you chilling, but then again, like I'm on your show. So I was doing that, and then like I'm like, how am I really gonna? So backtrack a little bit. I graduated college, and obviously I
last year though.
In December, yeah. So 4 months ago or 5 months ago. So I got a part-time job working 5 a.m. until 10 a.m. at a grocery store, but I'm making like good money, like compared to it's like
what grocery store was it?
It's the same company that I worked with over the summer.
Okay, I've never heard. I wonder if we had that in Indiana. I've never heard of that.
It's well, so the one I worked at 5 years ago was Hy-Vee for 5 years, and then I worked for Aldi over the summer.
Okay, we had.
So I worked at their corporate office, which I never knew that they operated everything around the whole entire world with, which is pretty eye-opening to me. That I was like, I just got an internship here, like I'm working with this material. So I mean, just having that experience has created a great story in its own, you know.
Right.
So I work there in the mornings at the actual grocery store, stocking the shelves.
Right now you do?
Easy. Yeah, dude. Like I literally wake up at 4:30, 3 or 4 days a week, to work until 9, 10 a.m. and then I'm out.
That gives you like a rest of the day, like to just do it, crush it.
And like I don't even. So the store doesn't open until 9. So like I literally just pop my headphone in, stock the shelves.
So you're just chilling until like 9, and then an hour of whatever when they're open.
Yeah, I mean it's like pretty good labor, and then plus I listen to podcasts, audiobooks. So it's more of like I even told
you're
them,
getting paid to like learn almost.
Exactly, and I was like, man, if I'm getting paid like however much money online, 40, 50K this year, I'm still gonna work here. Like I enjoy coming here in the mornings. Like it's a great start to my day. So I've been doing that, and then but also like around February, I was like, what am I gonna do though? Like legitly, like I gotta figure out a plan. Like I think a lot of people like see this little bit of belief, like, oh, I'm making some money online. They try justifying it to either their friends or family, but like,
what do you mean?
In the end of it, so like if I was making like $100 here, $200 here, like, but not working another job, you know, like that's why you gotta have a part-time job to, you know, to supplement some of your income, and then like actually leave your part-time job until like you double what you're bringing in, you know?
Right.
I'm just saying, like, some people might be like, oh, I'm doing really good, and they're only making $100 a month, and like that's all they're doing now.
Right.
That's what I was trying to get at. So, I mean, the thing that this is only like 4 months ago, like how much stuff has happened, like through this whole time, like my whole entire mindset has shifted, like how I act. Like I've read over 30 books, and I went through all these different courses and just like kind of put myself out there. And that's like the best way to learn. Like I'm just willing to become a student again. And I think a lot of people forget that when after they graduate, maybe they just go into this job.
They never go learn again.
They're checked out. And then like, it's kind of shitty. It sucks. Like that's not the life that I wanted to live. And so to go more on like the path that I wanted to go down it was like mid-February. I'm not sure if you watched the interview I had with my friend Lloyd. You told me to hit it to you. Did you watch it or no?
Not yet.
I bet. So like,
that's why I'm always like, I always tell people like, yo, DM it to me, man.
Yeah, no, I feel you. So like mid-February, I was connecting with people. So I started a book account on Instagram. I was like, man, this community on Instagram is crazy. Like there's so many people just posting things and like reviewing the books. And like, I want to find more people like myself. And like, sometimes people think that's the hardest thing to do is find people like themselves. But like, you just got to look around at your hobbies, your interests, and then kind of like what you're working on. So started a book account. I've grown it to almost 600 or 700 followers since January, which is pretty neat because all of those followers are like,
let people know what the name is.
It's Trace and Books _. So I'll have to like link it. You can link it on when there you go. Perfect. And so I just post some of the books I like read and I kind of review it. I haven't posted all of them, but I started that.
Because wasn't that where we first linked up? Was Instagram or was it Twitter?
It was Instagram.
That's what I thought. Yeah, okay.
I think it was through this account.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, so kind of what happened was I was going through ClickFunnels and I picked up Russell Brunson's Network Marketing Secrets book because I wanted to learn more about how Russell was in direct sales. Because I don't know if you know, like he used to kill it when he did that. And so his book, Network Marketing Secrets, is really good. Kind of opened up my eyes to network marketing.
That seems like that's like a low key book out of the ones that he has.
It's very low key. He never talks about it.
Right.
But Steve Larsen does, if you're aware of Steve Larsen.
Yeah.
And so I was like looking into network marketing. I read his book and I was like, man, a lot of people I see from my own social media do network marketing wrong. Like, you know, you have the traditional method of selling. For those that don't know what network marketing is, it's like you're selling someone else's product, you're marketing it, and then you earn commission. And like, there's a whole bunch of different compensation plans with it. But a lot of people, you know, either have like people over your house, like if you've ever seen like a home party.
Oh yeah, I used to do those.
Yeah,
back in the day.
For real?
when I was in like I think I was in high school. Me and my boy did it, bro, and we would make like, I don't know. I remember one time we made like a couple grand or something. We just went on like a trip, but that was like high school. But I don't know. I always thought it was like weird, bro. Like you said, you'll probably get to it, but I just felt like once I was doing it like that, like people didn't want to like answer my phone calls or my texts because they always thought like I'm gonna have them come over and watch some DVD. Yo, come chill. Let me pop this DVD in, bro. Like you're gonna love this. It's gonna change your life. Bring your mom, bring your parents. Because like at that point, they had to bring like their parents and stuff too. Because like we're in high school, so yeah, I did that for a minute.
Yeah, so like you have.
I think it was prepaid legal that I did actually.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. So like, so you have like the home parties, and then you have like a hotel meeting where like you bring people to like a dignified space, and then they bring their friend back, and then you have, man, I forget what the other one is. I guess just like a 3-way call, like with someone else. Like you, let's say you were my team leader, I'd be like, oh, I found someone. Hey, can you help coach him with me? And
it's like, hey, hold on, my friend's gonna hop on the phone real quick. He wants to talk to you. I'm gonna 3-way him in. It's like, oh my god, we used to do those all the time.
Yeah, and it's like now the skepticism with all these companies that aren't following the ethical guidelines and they're doing everything's wrong. There's a lot of skepticism in the market, just like with online marketing. Like there's tons of people that are faking it. And then with people doing it wrong, it puts a lot of bad taste in people's mouths. You know, if someone's on social media posting their skincare, like, oh, I got this with such and such product, like that's all your feed is. And like a lot of people are like, oh, like they associate you with that. Or then like the next time someone approaches them about the same opportunity, they're like, oh, I don't want to be like that person. Right. So I was like, a lot of people are doing it wrong. So with ClickFunnels, you can create funnels that are just like the home party meeting, a bridge call, a bridge page, kind of like the 3-way call. You can do a ton of things with that. So I was like, I'm going to go and teach network marketers how to use social media in a better way of not asking their friends and family all the time, and just how to take the offline method to online. I was like, this is perfect. This is like, I can use my skills to do this. So it just so happened, my friend Lloyd followed my book account, commented on Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday, I believe. And he was like, oh, this book's amazing. Like, blah, 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 blah. So I clicked on his page and I saw that it looked like he was in a network marketing company. He was coaching people. You could see all like the accolades. And then he was traveling. He had the great lifestyle and he was like in health and nutrition. And I was like, damn, like, what does this dude do? So I reached out to him and I was like, hey man, what do you do? Like, right now I'm trying to help network marketers, blah, 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 and this and that. And then he was like, perfect. He was like, I'm actually in a network marketing company. We do such and such. And then he's like, want to hop on a Zoom call. And I, at the time, wasn't really open to joining a network marketing company, just help. And so we hopped on the Zoom call. My girlfriend and I did, and then him and his wife. And he just laid out the business opportunity, laid out the product, how it all worked. And man, I was just sucked in. I was like, it's perfect, like exactly perfect for me. So like the skills that I learned on how I was going to coach people, I could put into how I was going to actually run a business of network marketing and direct selling. So I got into, so that was middle of February. So I was like, man, this is like perfect for like I said, like, I don't think it was shiny object. I think it was like every single day I was getting 1% better. I was showing up. You know, it's not like all these opportunities come to you because you're lucky. Like you're showing up,
right?
And they come to you. Like I know Grant Cardone says that a lot. Like he's like, man, I don't get lucky. I just put myself out there and I'm open to learning things. And so came across it, and so what I do is like I market nutritional products online. And like so instead of like if you pay attention to my page, you would never know exactly what I do, in a sense of like I'm not posting everything about the product or the business opportunity. And so kind of people gain curiosity. So like I've had the greatest time joining the network marketing company I've been in, because I think it's one of the best business models to be in, to grow like a financially linked team. And then also being a part of like a business that has like a product that like is 100% legit and you believe in, like to have both those systems plus like a really good compensation plan. It like, do you follow Robert Kiyosaki?
No, that's somebody I haven't got into. I haven't even read Rich Dad Poor Dad yet.
Yeah, so I didn't either until January, and I finally read it, and then I got into his book Cash Flow Quadrant, and then I got into his book The Business of the 21st Century, and that whole book is about network marketing, on how powerful the business is, building financial freedom within 4 to 5 years with it. And like Cash Flow Quadrant, it's pretty interesting, dude. So like a lot of people don't know how money works. So like the cash flow quadrant, I wish I could like draw it out. I don't have a whiteboard behind me.
Draw it on the wall, bro.
Yeah, okay. So like you have like a quadrant, so like a a T kind of, whatever, plus sign. And like on the left side you have
almost.
Yeah, so like on the left side you have employees. So employee, and then under that is self-employed.
Okay. I'll do you a favor, bro. Just tell me what to do.
Legit, bro. Man, what are you doing? There's no circle.
Oh, there's no circle? Oh,
nah, that's all. You can use it, bro.
So it's just a T.
Yeah.
Just a quadrant.
Yeah, so on the top left, you have the letter E for employee. And then under that is S for self-employed. And then the top right is B for big business. And then under that is I for investor.
There we go.
So the top left, the employee, that's where the left side, I guess, for employees and self-employed, that's where 95% of our population is at.
Oh wow, crazy. It's for employees. They're employees. They're working for somebody.
And self-employed. So the left side is 95% of our population. Side. Yeah, the left side of the quadrant. And that's where only 5% of our wealth is at. You can ever put that down.
This right here is 5%, this whole left side?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
So on that section, is your marker out?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, man. It's twisted. This is my fault for not bringing a whiteboard.
No, you're good.
If I would have had, I had this crazy tablet you can plug in your computer, and if I shared my screen, I could use like a whiteboard. Now you're set up.
All right. We got it. 5% wealth, though.
So like, yeah, so like on the left side, like an employee, like you only get paid if you show up for work. So like you're trading your time for money. just like the self-employed. Like if let's say you're a carpenter, like unless you go to work, that's the only way you're going to get paid. So like in a time like this, when the coronavirus hits, you're not getting paid. Like obviously you can get unemployment, but like in a case of not the virus, I guess, like if you don't show up, you don't get paid. So that's called linear income, or in like an employee base, that's active income. Like you only show up when you go to work. And then on the right side with big business, that's like with a business.
That's 5% of the population.
Yeah, so that's 5. Okay. Yeah, that's 5% of the population and 95% of the wealth. So that's crazy. Why they always say like the rich keep getting richer. And so like a big business, that's like a business with 500 or more employees.
This is like 500 or more. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But with the business and network marketing, if you build up a team enough of that, you can reap the benefits of a big business.
What's this?
And then obviously investor.
Oh, okay.
So like obviously like once you have enough money through that, then you can start investing. And a lot of people, like I said, and you can see 95% are on the left side. And I would 100% want to be more on the right side where 95% of the wealth is at. So like for my goal is right now I have the employee active income from my part-time job. And then I have my self-employed, which is affiliate marketing with ClickFunnels and then affiliate marketing course. So I have those two incomes. And people don't know also when you go into the self-employed quadrant or the side of it, you reap like the tax benefits for like a 1099. Like you can start writing things off. So like, and the most people that go in as self-employed, they're only not working for an employee because they want to do things the way they want to do it. You know, like that's right. Why most of us do it. And then with network marketing, you can go into the business side, big business, when you build up enough team, and that's where you start earning residual income, leveraged income from other people's efforts.
So what's the difference between somebody that's using like a ClickFunnels or something where they don't have to physically show up anywhere and all their money is just coming like online through ads? They're still down here, or they ever get into this side right here? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. Because I guess in a sense, they're self-employed, but they have a business that's running automated. So, and they're earning money through other people's efforts. So I would say that is a big business in a sense of like a team. But it's just, the model is really interesting to me. I'll have to share you like a screenshot of like the model written out and some of the words he says, and you can just look it up, cash flow quadrant. But like to think that a lot of people don't know how money works.
It's
and
crazy.
Like obviously, yeah, like same with like real estate and all that. Like they just don't get, like they think like your house is an asset. Like assets are only an asset if it's generating money for you. And it's just crazy, dude. Like all the things that my mind has been opened up to the past couple of months is just astonishing. Like
it's well, I don't want to get into the deep of the why, but it blows my mind sometimes where it's like, dang, we learned about the solar system, planets where we'll probably never go, history that we can easily look up on, cursive that we never write in, but we didn't learn about taxes, money, any of the stuff that they knew we were going to guaranteed 99.9% of people in the world are going to have to do it. So it's crazy. And I think that's a very good point of like, most people, once they don't have somebody forcing them to take a test or read a book, like they never open up another book again. And then people are like, oh, I want to be rich, I want to make money, but they don't know anything about money. They don't know how the bank works. They don't know how the credit works. They don't know how anything works. It's like, I'm not an expert, but it's like, I think like you said, it's like reading books like every now and then, even if it's like one financial book a year or watching a YouTube video, but like not ever educating yourself on anything. And then just thinking like, oh, if I just believe in myself, I'll be a millionaire. It's like, okay, that's great in theory, but like, what are you doing to get yourself there? How are you educating yourself? And what action are you putting in?
Like I would say, like for those who are still in college right now, or people that think that they need to finish up their last 2 years to get a degree. Now, I guess it all depends on like what your profession is going to be. If you want to be a doctor, like you got to finish some schooling. But like for someone who's wanting to do something like online marketing or entrepreneurship, like for my girlfriend per se, like she found what she wants to do for the rest of her life, and she's in 2 years in her community college, and she wanted to have the feeling of wanting to get the 4-year degree for the sense of getting a 4-year degree. You know, like you don't want friends and family, or like someday having your own business, people realize you don't have a degree. Like, and I was just, I was telling her like, you don't need that degree to show other people that you have the credentials. Like, it's like waiting for someone to be an expert in their field. Like you can't just wait to be an expert, and then you just got to start now. And then people will like, I know I keep bringing this up, but like, I see you as an expert in what you do because I've seen you progress over the last, when I met you 6 months ago, like constantly like evolving and like moving into like a leader. And like, you didn't get that from day 1 or day 60. Like it's happened over time. And like, yeah. So like I told her like, and for anyone that's in this kind of situation, like so much you can learn on YouTube, you can learn on books. Like if I didn't read some of the books, like I mind, like I use some of the things that I learned to teach others and kind of live by. And like, you can like all this online marketing stuff I didn't learn from.
I think what people forget too is that like people aren't always looking for that expert that like there's power in obviously becoming like the expert and being the mentor and being able to help people. But there's also power in just like doing kind of like what you're doing now, where like, let's say if it's like, all right, guys, I just graduated. I really don't want to have a job. I'm trying to like have financial freedom. So I'm basically just going to share with you guys everything that I'm doing. Like most people don't even know what books to read. They don't know what the hell, like any of that stuff that you just said is. Right. So it's like, if they're like, all I have to do is follow Trace and he's going to tell me everything that I need to do. People forget like how powerful that is. It's like, you don't have to be the mentor. You're just like, dude, here's Ty Lopez's course. Here's Russell Brunson's course. Here's Russell Brunson's book. Here's Robert Kiyosaki. Like, here's all of these things that you need. Just follow me. I'll tell you guys what to do. I'll tell you how it's happening, like how it's working for me. And like, you're just learning like through me. So I'm like, you're basically like just being yourself, sharing your journey, you know, and then eventually you'll be that expert and then you'll get paid even more, but you don't have to wait.
That's like the great thing about the network marketing business I'm in right now is like, I'm progressively growing through all of that. And then like, once you get someone on your team who's in it for the business opportunity, I get to coach them on like, hey, read this book, Business of the 21st Century. Your belief will go through the roof with this business model. Or like, read this book by Russ. Like, it's exactly what you just said. And you get to do it while you get to learn while you earn. Like, it's just, there's not a better path to go down than like what both, you know, you and I are doing.
Right. I think it's just like people get, it's kind of like a shame, man, but people like they make their decision based on like what other people are going to think. So it's like, do you care about like for you guys, right? It's like your girlfriend, but it's like eventually it's like, do you care about our relationship or do you care about people looking at your finger and being like, how big is the ring? Oh, Trace must not love you that much if he didn't get this big thing. And it's like, that doesn't matter. Like, you know what your relationship is. It shouldn't matter like what they think. You know, like what your relationship is. You don't need to have like this big fancy like wedding if you don't want to, just so you can prove to people that you're like killing it. Like, you don't need a piece of paper on the wall just so your friends and family are happy with your decisions. Like, basically just do what you're comfortable with, I think, in life, and kind of think of like, okay, what is this path that I want to be on? And like sit there and like consciously make decisions, and I'd be like, well, if I don't do this, then like people are going to look at me weird. It's like, who cares? Most people aren't happy like with their situation, and they're going to tell you to go down that same path. So
and
I think don't get tricked on that.
Same with like someone like telling you like, don't do this. Like, I know when I first got in the business of network marketing, a lot of people were like, don't go into MLMs, or like, because they would knock down the business from all the bad taste that everyone's put inside their mouth. Just like going into having your own business. Like, a lot of people try to give you the security side of things. Like, well, what about benefits? Or what about this? What about that? Because that's what they have been transformed to think about. And like, you can't take this criticism from, you have to think about what they're saying.
I'm like you guys literally text and drive and you're worried about like me having like what? Like, I get it, but I feel like, okay, I'm not going to have the future. This is how I thought about it. I was like, okay, either I can make sure that I go to the doctor every single time I'm supposed to, go to the dentist every single time I'm supposed to, and then not have my future, or work on my future. Okay, maybe I missed a dentist appointment, a doctor. Like, you're not, like, most people are not going to get hurt. If you get hurt, like, you can figure it out. I think it's like people are risking their future over stuff that's like so small. Like, oh, but what about this or what about that? It's like, really, that's what's going to stop you from living the life that you want to? That little thing? Like, you're worried about like getting your checkup at the dentist. You know what I mean? It's like, there's so much like you're not going to live the life you want if you're not willing to take a risk. And like, those to me are like very small like risks.
Yeah. So I would say like three things. Like, one, like, don't take someone else's opinion that hasn't gone out and done what you've done. So like in a couple of our cases, like if someone hasn't done online marketing or if they haven't seen the opportunities, like obviously they're going to knock it because they're not going to believe in the business. So like you can't take their opinions and get down. I would say number two, like not in the same nature of that, but like invest in yourself in certain things. So like, you know, I'll think about like with your book thing, like your book group, like it was $5. And like, honestly, like I did it for the community and I did it to support you because I knew that you and I were going to have a long lasting relationship. So I was like, man, $5, that's like not, I think you said that's a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Like that's nothing to me. So I was like, man, $5, like I'll help this homie out, like whatever. And like, but like in a higher sense of things, like investing in $1,000 course or the $100 OFA, like you're not gonna, like, we have so much free information out there, and because it's free, we don't take advantage of it. Like a library, a bookstore, just go in there and read the books because it's free. But when you actually buy something and invest in yourself and invest in the product, you're more apt to stick with it and learn from it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I just invested $10K, bro, in a program,
that.
bro, and it's like I've learned more in that in like the week than it's like than I think people forget, like I think a lot of it is just like ego. It's like, oh man, I can, like Trace figured out how to like sell candy and do all this stuff. Like I should be able to do that too. And it's like, that's great, but like maybe you're better at like doing something else that he's not. So just get his help or get somebody else's help. And I think that's two things that I've learned during this quarantine. One is like, it's very hard to like be successful as like an entrepreneur if you're only surrounded by like friends and family, because they're doing a different path. And like when you start talking to them about this stuff, it's going to be negative. It can like throw you off. And it's like, oh, well, you only made like, oh, that's great, you sold candy, you only made like $200 or 2,000, but like, what are you going to do in the future? What are you gonna, and it's like that stuff can like wear on you. So I think like finding like a community, like you said, of people that are on like the same page, that you can be like, you can talk and they know what you're talking about. Like, hey guys, I'm working on my branding. What do you guys think of this? Or, hey, I'm working on my message. Or how can I get clients? Like most people that we hang out with, like you can't ask them those questions. They don't know the answers.
Yeah. You got to find your tribe.
And I think the next thing is like, don't be afraid to like get a coach or a mentor. It doesn't have to always be paid at first. Like start, obviously like test stuff out, YouTube, books, but like, don't be scared to like invest in a course. Like, I think like money, you can always make money back. Like you lose all your money, like you'll make it again. But time, like if you waste like 2 years, that time is gone. So if you can pay, like for you, it's like if I'm gonna like, you know, start a vending machine, like there's two options. Either I can like try to figure out all out by myself, which I might not be able to do. But if I know that you did it and I can just pay you and you're gonna tell me exactly what to do, I'm learning really like that's like the best way to go. Like just pay for the speed, pay for the information and get there.
Steve Larson in the OFA said like he had this cool path that was like, all right, you have your idea and you have your vision. So you can go down two paths. It can be the how path or the who. Right. So like so many people like go down the how of like,
how do I do this? How do I do this?
Yeah, how am I going to create this website, this logo, this whatever, instead of thinking about, all right, hold up, I can't become an expert in 5 different things because I have this vision I need to work on. I need to focus on what I can do. So you got to go into the who's. The who can create this for me, who can help me get this, who can get my belief up. And then it's kind of like being a contractor. Like the contractor doesn't put up the brickwork, he doesn't put up the foundation, the carpet. Like he has people that are better than him outsource it all. So the job gets better. The job gets done more efficiently.
I'm having Shane Larson on my podcast this month, actually.
Shane. Isn't Shane Shane's the one from the group, right?
Yeah. He runs like the OFAs, the groups inside of the groups.
So do you know who Steve Larson is then?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I didn't know if you had the.
I don't think they're related. I think their names are spelled differently. But Shane is the one that he runs like in the groups, and he has like forget what his podcast is called. Should know it, but he seems like a cool dude though. He kills it.
Yeah, dude. I like what you said about, you know, surrounding yourself by people that are on the same path as you. I mean, obviously you have to shift yourself away from so much like-minded people where like you can't grow and learn from others, but you can obviously learn from others that are just like yourself. But like when you're around friends and family, like, or different people that are employees or they're self-employed, like most employees are in it for like the security aspect of it. Like they want the benefits, they want the steady paycheck. And then like the self-employed, they want it just because they want the job done the right way. And like, it's kind of like when you really think about it, and like when you think about, I don't think like when you're at like a corporate office or like some environment, like a lot of people aren't talking about things like you and I are talking about. It's more of like, hey, what's up, man? How was your weekend? Or like,
yeah, for sure.
Sports or the weather, something like that, dude. And like,
it's nothing that's like gonna make your future any better normally.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, man. And like, how old are you?
29.
Oh, you're still young as shit.
Yeah,
and like,
for sure.
it's crazy that, you know, we came now and figured all of it out. Not all of it. I mean, just the minimal amount that we have.
I think it's just so go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to ask you what your next step is.
So for me right now, I'm working on a course. So before I was like kind of testing like ClickFunnels, went through like the OFA, learned how to use it. And I was like, man, I need to really get like clear on my message. I feel like people like, okay, man, this dude's inspiring. He's motivational. He's like got social media down, but like they're not very clear on like what it is I can offer them to help. And I feel like sometimes like I just want to like help a lot of people, but it's like in which way. So that's what I've been working on is like defining my message. So my next step right now is I'm coming out with a course. It's going to help basically like entrepreneurs use video content to attract their dream customers on social media with just using like their iPhone. That's all I use. So it's going to be like, here's how you like shoot everything on your iPhone. Like, here's how you know what to say. Here's how you can craft your message. Here's how you edit it. And here's how you like publish it. So that way, basically any entrepreneur out there can like, all they need is like their phone and they can like start making sales, just kind of like the Ty Lopez and Gary Vee, but they have like a big team. So it's like, how can you do that on your own with your phone and basically like just be an entrepreneur that's like you're putting out these videos and leveraging it? Because I think if you're relying just on images, it's going to be like you're at a disadvantage already. And then if you're waiting for like all this tech stuff, it's like that's very time consuming. So a lot of people are always like, man, how do you just like do all this content like, you know, just from your phone so quickly, so consistently?
So simple too, the way you do it probably.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm going to start showing people is like here's how exactly how I do it. So hopefully I'll have that done within the next week or two.
Yeah, I feel like you built up enough influence too within the online community. I mean, I see a couple of Facebook groups that I'm in. I see you constantly posting. You got a lot of comments, a lot of engagement, and then like it's kind of just like showing up. Like
that's a big thing, bro.
You published every day, and like it's not like the one day you were talking about. I mean, I know you've been kind of transitioning your things, but it's not like one day you're selling coats and then the next day you're selling phones. Like you're being consistent. So like people that may have talked to you back in January, they're like, all right, yeah, Dee, I see where you're going, but it's not for me. But really low key, they were just kind of like scared about jumping in. And now 5 months later, you're still crushing it. And then you're about to come out with this course and they're like, all right, bet it's however much money I'll invest in myself. And like they've seen you talk, you know, every single day. And like
I think the thing that has always like benefited me too is that like I've always led, like how you said, like, oh man, I didn't know if you'd be making that much money. I always just try to like be like a real, like genuine, like down to earth person, like on social media. So I feel like for me, that's just like the easiest thing because they know, like, I feel like a lot of people online, you feel like all they're trying to do is just sell to you. So it's like, oh, this dude just wants my money. This dude wants my money. Where I'm like, dude, the only reason I'm doing this is like because I want to help you. Okay, that's not gonna help you. Like I'm gonna kind of like switch it. So it's not that I'm like, oh, I want to get your money. You didn't buy it. Let me like come up with something else. So like a lot of the people, they've been like, oh, they look at it as like, oh, it's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. And so like a lot of people now they're like, okay, like yeah, this is the one. Like this is like really what I like the book thing. Like a lot of people are like, man, that helps, but like I need help with my business and I'm too busy. And so I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Social media, but then I'm like, I can't just say social media because not everybody, but a lot of people do that. It's like how, and I think that's like my area of specialties is like the expertise is like the videos, and like a lot of entrepreneurs that I know, like they don't post any videos of themselves like on camera, just like for multiple reasons. So I think this will help like people all over the world like really be able to like market without spending a ton of money just using their phone.
It's legit.
So that's the next step.
Sweet. Yeah, and I know a lot of people do get like, especially when you get into affiliate marketing or anything like online selling, like you get like that when you're talking to someone like right away and you see there's a need, you kind of get money hungry. Like you get like that anxious, like, oh, I'm about to make a sale. And like that's something that I had firsthand, like back in February, January, when I was like making an affiliate commission. I'm like, ooh, like I was building a relationship, but like I also saw like I'm gonna get a sale of this. And like once I changed my mindset, especially going into network marketing, like man, like I'm trying to find people that I can turn into friends and family and grow a business with or help with their nutrition and legit bring them in. I'm not looking for that one-time interaction. Like I'm looking for the long-term, you know, getting all these relationships, helping them grow. Like I honestly, like money is a means to like living a good life, but like I don't think of money as everything. And like if I just have enough money where I can do what I want and like live like a simple but like above my means life in a sense, like I want to do what I want to do, you know, like that's all it is, man. Like I guess that's something that I've really thought about the past couple of months. I'm not in it for all that, you know.
The thing I see like a lot of affiliate marketers doing that I think is like wrong, in my opinion, is like they hide behind like the products and services that they're trying to promote. So it's like, oh, here's one funnel away, here's this. Like that's all they talk about. But I'm like, dude, you literally need to be like a person that people can relate with. And then you're just like, here's my products and service to help you. A lot of people, like you said, it's just like, buy this lipstick, buy this OFA, buy this book, buy this. And I'm like, you're basically just competing with everyone else that's selling the same thing. And then you have to be like, oh, maybe I have like a better offer stack or something like that. But like, if people know like, okay, Trace helps me with self-development, they don't care what product or service that you offer. They're just like,
yeah, if you can offer it,
you're the guy that helps me. And then you're just like, okay, this is the product that I have now, but it's always helping you with the same goal. And then eventually you'll be able to like have your own products. It's like has the same thing. But I feel like people base their whole like presence and their whole persona around like OFA. And it's like, bro, calm down with that. Like they could shut that down. Like I feel like build your own business around like that business. Like be your own person, stand for what that stands for. Use your story to let people know like why they should get that product. And I feel like it would be like a lot easier than just like trying to watch Russell's story, watch this. And it's like, you're only using like all the content that they put out is what I see like a lot do.
And like a really quick thing to like piggyback on that is like, I think everyone watching this should like take a second look at like their Facebook profile, their social media, like their Instagram, and just think about like what other people see from like the outside coming in, like how your profile looks. Like if you're doing just that, like I know for myself, a lot of people ask me, like they come to me and say, hey, what do you do? I'm not really clear on what you're doing. Or like, well, they know like, you know, self-development, or I'm in health and nutrition, or I've always been posting things about business for the past year and a half. So people know like that's my brand. Like I'm in it for the health, well, like health, nutrition, relationships.
Right.
So like they know who I am, but like not through like a product. Like a lot of people, like you're at like the high band of product. Like I could think someone is the ClickFunnels guy, and that's all I know them because of they're that. You know,
what I've noticed is like a lot of these guys that are crushing it. If you don't know what they're doing, you don't know. You know what I mean? Like you can go to their page and you're just like, dang, this dude is like motivational. You don't know what like. There's so like a lot of these guys, like you don't know what the heck they even do. You don't even know how to sign up or anything like that. Like every now and then they'll mention something. And I think like what the strategy that I've noticed is like using your social media primarily for like value, like just value, getting people inside to come to your profile. Then from there, what they're doing is like running like ads to the people that visited their profile. And then those people are the people that see like, yo, you would you like to sign up for OFA or something like that? So you're only seeing that stuff through like ads for most people. And then on their story and like every now and then they're posting on their feed. But I feel like that gets people like attracted to their page and they're following them. Like they're engaging with their content. Like, man, this dude added like so much value, and like they have a podcast and they just start like following you. And then they see an ad and it's kind of like a no brainer. They're like, oh, I've been following this dude. Like he's selling a product or service. Like, let me do it. And I think that's a good way to go about it versus like a lot of people, when you look at their page, like you said, they get money hungry and it's like every single post is like, buy this product, buy this shake, buy this thing. And it's like, dude, relax. Like no one wants to see that. Like it looks silly.
Yeah.
I wish a lot more MLMs and a lot of companies did. I know some of them are starting, but I feel like they need to do a lot better job of like the social media training. They used to do a really good job on like, here's how to like go door to door. Here's what to say. Here's how to show up. Like when that's all you could like rely on. But now
they just hand everyone like a cookie cutter template, and then
but now it's kind of like people just think, oh, every post has to be my product and my service, and it's like, dude, no, this is not working.
Yeah, it's so wrong. I still see it all the time now, and I'm just like, you people. I that's what I've been trying to do. Also, like train other people and like hey,
that's what you should be posting on social media, bro.
Yeah, and then people. I mean, that's what Steve Larson does. I guess he posts like. He promotes network marketing secrets, and then he promotes like the top 5 best ways to do network marketing.
You ever thought about doing that?
He funnels people into it. I should definitely look into it. I mean, I guess got to build up my audience. Like right now, my audience on social, I just started a new Facebook a couple months ago. It's got like 500 friends. And then Instagram, I got like 600 followers. But I mean, like some people have only 2K, and like if those 2K are real, like you know, you don't need a ton of followers.
You don't.
But, like,
that's what people don't realize. You don't need a ton. You just need the right people.
Yeah. Like my audience on my personal page is more just like my life and then like business in a sense. And then like my book one is all like book personal development. But I do need to like, I've actually just been using the information I've learned to just implement it into my business first. And then like when I get more traction, then I can get more results and I can tell more stories.
You should do it like as you do it.
True. Like make another profile with it, you mean? Or should I use
No.
my
Like
profile?
use your main profile, like your profile, the one that's like trace, and be like, this is what I'm doing. I don't know if it's gonna work or whatever, but I'm showing you guys like I'm reading this book. Because like people like to see like the journey. They don't like us to just be like, oh hey, I'm Michael Jordan. I won 6 rings. It's like they want to be like, oh, like they would have loved if they could have seen like, man, today I like tried out and I didn't make it. Like to cut me from the team. Now I'm about to go kill him like all summer, like working in the backyard. I'm putting up videos of me like dunking. Like people like to see like the progression. And I think a lot of people think like, oh, I got to have like this traction. I got to wait till I have results. But people just like to see like, dang, what is this dude going to do? And then they learn the lessons like with you.
So yeah, we've been implementing using like StreamYard. So like anytime someone has like a health win, like hop on and be like, dude, tell me what happened. Like tell me like what just happened. Dude, I lost freaking 9 pounds in 4 days. How wicked is this? And then like talk about it. Same with like income. Like, oh, dude, you brought in an extra $300 this week. Like, what is that going to do for you? And how did you do it? And then like people will just see over time, like all that stuff progressing, and then like how you did it. And then I straight up, like I read Think and Grow Rich the other day. I was reading through it and I came across this lesson. I just hopped on the camera and I was like, dude, I just read this. This resonated with me with this. So like I feel you just about pulling out your phone really quick. Just document, like documenting the process. That's what Gary does all the time. He'll just be like, fuck, man, I
used to think it was just like
bottle.
I used to think it was so like not common sense, but so like easy. And then I'm realizing now, I'm like, dude, a lot of people don't know how to do that. Like they have so many like insecurities or so many thoughts. And then like there's like the know-how of like, how do I take the video? How do I edit it? And I'm like, that's really what I'm about to be showing people. It's like, dude, literally, I'm going to show you how to take your phone out and how you can like, I'm not going to teach you how to grow a following because that doesn't really matter. I'm going to teach you how to attract the people that are actually into your brand. Because let's say if you're affiliate marketing and you're selling a product where you're making $400, $700, you don't need a million followers. Like you just need like a couple people that are going to buy those products, and then those people buy it, and then you come up with other products, and then outside of that, you're running like ads to like target more people. But you don't need like people focus on this following, and I'm like, the reason why you need a large following is because no one knows what the hell you're doing. So now it's like for every 1,000 followers you have, there's like 2 that actually care about what you're doing. But if you like post content that people could like instantly go to your page and be like, oh, that's the dude for affiliate marketing, self-help, like I want to follow him. But if it's just like, oh, it's Trey's, like sometimes he posts about food, sometimes about his dad, sometimes about this, and it's like it's you have to get a hell of followers to like for it to make sense. So I think like, you know, I'm excited for it.
Though.
Right,
like,
that's what I mean.
But then some people love seeing like the inside of your life also, like chilling like at the beach with your girl, like whatever, you know, like.
I mean, but in relation to like what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
So let's say if you're talking about self-helping, you're just like, yo, I had this fire macaroni and cheese today. Like no one really cares about that. But if you're like, I'm so glad that I have freedom to be able to go to my favorite restaurant on the beach with my girl and take the day off because I don't have to work anywhere because I did blah, 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 blah. Like that ties into the story. Now they care. But if it's just like a whole bunch of like, I hate when like I find like a book that I like and I go like follow the author on like Instagram and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? It's like a whole bunch of random stuff. I'm like, if you wrote a book on finance, I want to follow you and like get more finance tips. I don't care about like you're like knitting a sweater or whatever it is that you do, you know what I mean? And that's what I see. So it's like you can obviously, you want to post stuff that shows people your life, but like tie it in to like what you do. Like if you do finance, be like, oh, we just came out to this restaurant because it's about like, how does that tie into restaurants, or how does that tie into, you know, self-development? Like, oh, hey, me and my girl took a break out here. It's not because of the vacation, but it's like we need to refresh our minds. Like you don't need to
just have a purpose on posting.
Yep. So like that's kind of like what I want to show people.
I feel you, because like yesterday I posted a couple of screenshots on my run of like listening to Grant Cardone or like Jocko, and I just posted the screenshot. People are just gonna flip through that and be like, oh yeah, whatever, I don't give a shit. But if I like posted a screenshot and then was like, boom, I learned this, and this ties into what I'm doing. Like give
100%. Because now because otherwise it's just like I went on a run and people are gonna be like, I don't care what you did. Like, how can you help me? But if you're like, I went on a run and instead of just listening to music like most of you guys do, I listened to like podcasts. So I was able to not only get healthier, but I learned something. It only took me 30 minutes to an hour. Like 30 You're talking about for like a video?
That. I mean, even for like a story, like you could do a story, but how long does that take? A couple of minutes. Like it's not as hard as you think. Sorry to cut you off.
So I think, and it doesn't always have to be a video. Like that could literally just be like I know people have like the apps that like you take a screenshot and it shows like your like the path that you ran on or whatever.
Yeah.
You can like do that, and then I don't know, like post a screenshot of the podcast or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And then just let people know like this is what I did. Like tell the story and then tie it into like what you did. Like I learned about something, like you guys should do it too. Like what do you guys listen to when you run? And then somebody is eventually they're gonna be like, dang, like Trace listens to a podcast while he runs. Like I just been listening to like Young Thug or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so then they might not say anything, but like a couple weeks go by and then they're like, dang, I started listening to podcasts and that like changed my life. You know what I mean? Like I've learned a lot. So then they see you post about like an affiliate program. So they're like, yo, this dude like helped me. Like I'm about to buy this or whatever. I feel like that's how it happens. But if it's just like a whole bunch of random stuff, like no one knows what we're doing. And then we hit them with a product or service. And that's like the first valuable thing we did. And now they're like, oh, okay, I got to think about it. And then it's like, you know what I mean? Versus like if you're hitting them every day with like value related to that product or service. And then you're like, dude, you want to learn more? Like, here's like the next step, like OFA. Like I told you about the podcast. That's cool. Are you going to listen to every single podcast? Great. You can. I did it. Or you can just like buy OFA, which is like, they're going to talk you through it. It's $100. And then they're gonna be like, dang, you're right. If the podcast helped me, like how much would this help me? So I think that's like basically like the process of like what I want to show entrepreneurs. Cause I know when I say like, just do videos, they'll be like, hey, come to my pizza shop and buy my pizza. And I'm like, all right, bro, like that's not how you do it. So it's more about like, the pizza. So it's like, I got to show them like the process of like what to say, how to tell your story, how to edit it on your phone, and how to distribute it like on all the platforms. And I think that's really going to help like a lot of people.
And then I'm excited to see it.
What I'm going to do too is like, I'm kind of testing some things, but what I want to do is like, I'm gonna have the course, I'm gonna have a private Facebook group for just the members. And then I'm going to do 2 Q&A calls for the members every week. So that way, if people are like stuck or like, hey, can you look at my Instagram, or like, what should I say? Or how can I reach my brand? I want to like help them. So I'll be like, however, I don't know, maybe I'll put a time limit to like at 30 minutes or an hour or something like that. And then
just like grab someone like a week and be like, hey, who wants me to help them with their content this week? And then like send me or whatever.
So cause I just think like, I feel like that's where like a lot of people are like getting stuck. And then I think the other option is like, okay, I don't know what to do. I'm going to hire a company, and like, no offense, but like, dude, these people are like twice our age, bro. And they're not reading like expert secrets. They're not doing any of this stuff. They're just like, okay, I used to do email marketing back in the day. I used to do SEO, and I don't want my revenue stream to get cut off. Oh, social media, sales funnels, I'm just going to offer that. But it's like, you don't know what the heck you're doing, but because I'm not saying this is the only reason, but because they're like professional and they're like 40 years old and they walk into a meeting with like a suit on, and like people look at us as like kids, like, what do we know? And then they sign up with these people. They're not getting them like any results. They don't like know how to do social media. They don't know how to do the sales funnels. And so it's like, but the business owner is kind of like, when I go get my car fixed, I just like listen to whatever they say. It's like, oh, I need a new heater or whatever. Like, okay, fine, I want my car to fall apart. So these people walk in and they're like, oh, you need SEO, you need, what else do people say? Like, you need like somebody to do like your website. You need like all this stuff, and the business owner doesn't know. And then before they know it, they're paying like $5,000 a month and getting like no results. And the content that's producing is like, so like just whack. It's like stock photos.
Yeah.
So I think like helping people, and I think that's kind of like what we're both doing is like, not that you have to do everything on your own, but how you can get like a better understanding. And then when you want to pay somebody to do it, you know, like what to look for. You know, like, you're not just going to go from, okay, I work at McDonald's and I don't really have like a idea for my future, to I'm going to pay $10,000 for a coach. That wouldn't make sense. Yeah. So now you're like, okay, Trace got me to listen to podcasts while I'm running, which was great. I never even knew what a podcast was. And then now 2-3 months later, okay, I'm reading like books now. Okay, I did OFA. Oh, I went to Funnel Hacking Live. Okay. And it's like progression. And I think that's kind of like what we're both like helping people, you know, basically do. And that's what I want to use this podcast for. I don't want it to just be like social media or like business. It's more about like living a well-rounded, fulfilling life, basically.
Yeah. Sweet, bro. It was a great combo.
Yo, for sure, bro. Hey, I appreciate you coming on here, man. What are your plans for this time of quarantine? Like, what do you want to get out of it? What are some of your goals of like, man, this is what I want to get done by the time this is over, and what I want to kind of accomplish over this year?
Yeah, I mean, well, already so far, like, we've been like 2 months into it, right? I think 2-3 months. And I mean, that time, and in that time, I mean, like, I've taken the time to start a business, to connect with others that I normally haven't connected with. I've read several books. I've started to meditate, started to run, like all these things, like people. Yeah, dude, like man, I started running last Monday. You started running 3 days ago. Like, I started doing guided breathing like a week before that. Didn't even think that would help running. And it's helped me like 100% be able to run like a 6 miles, 7 miles. And like, then that mindset has helped me divulge into something else. Like, it's just all these things I've been working on now are going to benefit me later. And I think so many people are like scared to like jump into it. So I've been focusing on that, and then just focusing on finding other like-minded individuals that I want to be around, grow a business with. And I mean, yeah, dude, I mean, yeah, this quarantine has been different for a lot of people. It's pretty
What's
much
your big goal? What's like your big goal? You're like, man, I want to have like, when this is done, I want to say like I did this, or I got this done, or like I started this thing. Like for me, it's like, I want to get this course. I want to get this course done. It's not necessarily about, oh, I want to make a ton of money from it, but it's like, I want to have the idea. I want to put it together, and I want to like be like, okay, I took the time of quarantine to get my message like clear. That's like my big thing.
Yeah. I want to have like a group of like 5 to like 8 dudes, I mean, even girls, like in my network marketing business that are in just for this, to like grow a business, have all this self-improvement, like kind of go on the same path that like I've gone in, and like really just want more in life. And like, that's where I've been trying to put out some more content to kind of attract those people
that
and,
you're like talking with on a daily, on a week, on a consistent basis, or people that you're putting under you to help sell products. Which one, or both?
Oh, well, it's all financially, it's all like financially and like individual, like linked to each other.
Okay.
So like, you're just like all like in a huge power mastermind group. And like, I've been finding these people like the past couple of weeks, like several, just like they tell me their story, and I'm like, dude, that's me. Like,
right.
Let me show you where I hit the brick wall, and let me help you overcome that. And then like, it's just amazing finding those like-minded people that are just like yourself. But that's my main thing. And like I said, like not much has really changed during the quarantine. Like I've just done what I was already doing. Hopefully a lot of people that now are home and like have gone through these things don't go back into their normal routines and get back into their habits. You know, like it's not all about habits, it's about the systems you have in place with yourself. And like, it's all about the system. So like if you go back to work and like you still eat like shit, like, and then you still like don't do what you were doing at home. Like hopefully people just don't take that for granted, like being home with their kids and such right now.
Big facts. Where can people find you if they're interested in the stuff that you're talking about?
Yeah. So you can find my Instagram. It's my name, Trace Katie _. And then you can
2 C's.
Yeah.
TRACECADY.
Yeah. And then you can add me on Facebook. You'll find me through, if you tag me in this post. But yeah, just reach out to me about anything, honestly. Like I've gone through a lot of things, and I'm sure I could direct you as well to a lot of individuals if you're looking for something that, maybe spark your interest that I'm not fully in, but I'm sure I have a lot of contacts where I could plug you into.
So here's the last question that I asked my guest yesterday. Quarantine ends, right? And you can go anywhere. Yeah. You can go anywhere you want in the world. You have like money to do whatever you want. Where would you go?
Money to go everywhere. I'm just looking to get to the gym right now. Shit. I'd take everything for granted, man. Like I wish I could just go get something to eat, sit down, book that table of 8, and just like appreciate it. But like,
mad simple.
Dude, it's super simple, dude. People overlook that. But my girlfriend,
Applebee's, bro.
Dude. My girlfriend and I are going to Alabama in 2 weeks to visit her family down like a lake.
So if they're like, yo, we'll pay for you to go anywhere in the world, you'd say Alabama.
I say Alabama or Applebee's now.
Where would you say?
Man, my whole plan was to go to like to Spain again this year. So I would just book a flight there, man, and just indulge. I've been getting really. I went to Madrid 3 years ago, and it really blew my mind. I would either go there or go
last year.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Yeah, I think I saw that.
That was beautiful. Nice.
Yeah. But then also like I got into culture a lot, so like I started reading a lot just about like Japanese culture, and I'm like, dude, I just want to open up to experience and just go there and just kind of like let myself out there and just like learn different things and like try like their different cultures and like try different foods and like meditation. That. So yeah, that's like my main goal is just to like do different things,
I enjoy the life. Have like mastermind sessions like in person where it's like in different cities, in different countries.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That'd be dope. Yeah, like yo, this is where we're going. Let's link up. But damn, alrighty, bro. Hey, I appreciate you coming on here, man. Good vibes. We gotta stay connected, man. We gotta I think like I don't even know what that would look like, but I want to get like a group of like just entrepreneurs where it's like we don't have to like necessarily work together. Like working together is probably not even the goal, but it's like just talking to each other. I feel like sometimes we get stuck, and then it's like we ask our girlfriends, our parents, like, yo, I'm stuck on this business. Like, what do I, and it's like they can't answer any questions. And like the books we're reading and the people that we're looking up to online, we can't ask them questions. So if we don't have other entrepreneurs to ask to get help from, I think sometimes it can be like hard. So it's like, you know, coming up with, I don't even know what that would look like.
But just like a group of like real people that are in it, not to like sell you in the long run.
Right. So where you can just be like, yo, I'm stuck with this. What do you guys think? And it's like, we just like help each other out. So
dude, let's put it together.
For sure, bro. Well, alrighty, bro. Appreciate you being on here. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a dope episode. And
for sure.
We'll see y'all on the next one.
All right, thank you.